Let's jump right in. Today, we're unpacking a massive transformation. We're looking at how artificial intelligence is basically rewriting the rules of entrepreneurship. You know that feeling when you notice an everyday frustration and think, there's got to be an opportunity hiding in there? Well, you're in the exact right place. We are rapidly moving away from an era where executing a business was the hardest part, straight into a totally new reality where recognizing the right opportunity is the absolute game changer. The author of our source text, Trevor Nell, really hit the nail on the head. He says, the future belongs not to those with the most ideas, but to those who can most consistently recognize opportunity. Think about that for a second. It completely flips how we look at entrepreneurship. It's not just about managing finances or running operations anymore. It's actually a cognitive discipline. It's the highly disciplined practice of spotting structural opportunities way before anyone else even sees them.
Let's look back at 20th century economics. Back then, your biggest hurdles as an entrepreneur were execution and capital. Ideas? Oh, they were everywhere. But actually building the thing? Super expensive and incredibly complex. Fast forward to today, the agentic AI era, and the bottlenecks have completely flipped. Because AI can handle so much of the actual heavy lifting and execution, your main constraints are now just your own judgment and your curiosity. And because of this, the whole concept of risk has changed, which honestly is a massive relief. It used to be that testing a new idea carried this huge financial burden. You'd burn through months of time and thousands of dollars just trying to figure out if people even wanted what you were selling. But now, AI has basically dropped the cost of exploration down to zero. You can spin up branding, build websites, and test business models in a few hours. So the biggest risk isn't going bankrupt trying an idea anymore. The biggest risk is the opportunity cost of just sitting on an idea and doing nothing. So to navigate this wild new landscape, we really need a new kind of operating system. And that brings us to the One Idea Action Pack. This system was developed by Wisdoms, the creators behind the Difference Makers in Every City project. It's designed to help you take those vague ideas, passing frustrations, or random observations and transform them into practical experiments and actionable plans. It literally walks you through a structured process. First, it identifies the exact type of idea you're dealing with. Then it applies a specialized framework to reveal hidden opportunities, estimates the potential value creation, and finally spits out a highly practical roadmap custom-built for your specific idea. Think of a massive, daunting gap filled with friction, complexity, and lost momentum, all standing right between your imagination and commercial reality. That's the chasm most ideas fall into. But the One Idea Action Pack, when you pair it with agentic AI, acts like a sturdy bridge right over all that mess. It basically collapses the time it used to take to get from a raw thought to a real-world experiment. You get to cross straight over into commercial viability, totally bypassing the traditional grind. But to cross that bridge effectively, we have to peel back the layers of an idea. Up on the surface, you've got the visible layer, right? That's the proposed business itself, like, say, a marketplace for unsold hotel rooms. Right below that is the specific problem you're solving. But dig down to the foundation, and you find the most critical piece of the whole puzzle, the generalizable principle. This is the core economic logic making it all tick. In our hotel example, that underlying principle is simply recovering value from unused capacity. And when you start focusing on that foundational generalizable principle, things get really exciting. You unlock this massive multiplier effect. Let's say your idea is automating legal document drafting. If you stop at the surface level, cool, you've got a neat legal tech tool. But if you extract the core principle, which is automating specialized knowledge work, suddenly that one validated idea branches out into dozens of different industries. We're talking accounting, HR, architecture, insurance. You stop collecting isolated business ideas and start collecting highly transferable principles. Now, as thousands of these action packs are generated, a really fascinating pattern starts to emerge. You see underlying structures repeating themselves over and over, completely regardless of the industry. Imagine realizing that things like unlocking unused capacity, organizing fragmentation, or building trust infrastructure are actually universal blueprints. Once you see that, entrepreneurship completely shifts. It's no longer about waiting around for a random flash of inspiration. It becomes a systematic, highly learnable discipline. But operating at this level requires a totally new kind of partnership. We call it collaborative intelligence. It's all about a very clear division of cognitive labor. See, we aren't competing against AI. We're learning how to orchestrate it. The real secret to unlocking this new era is understanding exactly what humans and machines each bring to the table in this alliance. So let's break down those strengths. As humans, we bring purpose, deep empathy, lived experience, and nuanced judgment. We direct the curiosity. We're the ones who decide what actually matters and what improves human lives because, well, an AI doesn't experience the real world like we do. The machine, on the other hand, brings unmatched pattern recognition, insane scale, synthesis, and lightning-fast speed. The AI generates the possibilities and finds the patterns in massive datasets. But make no mistake, the human is always the director, choosing the final destination. This collaboration creates what's basically an infinity loop of interaction, and it all happens right inside a conversation. It goes like this. We start with a human question, the AI synthesizes a response, the human challenges that assumption, the AI expands on it, and then the human makes the final call. It's this continuous, iterative cycle. You're literally learning and refining your ideas by thinking out loud with the machine. The AI isn't just handing you a static answer, it's actively helping you ask vastly better questions. Okay, let's zoom out for a second. On a micro level, a single one-idea action pack gives you, the entrepreneur, a highly practical roadmap for your specific idea. But imagine thousands or even millions of these action packs being generated all over the globe. Every time one is completed, it acts as an anonymous, structured data point. Woven together, they are creating humanity's very first continuously evolving macro map of entrepreneurial opportunity. It's absolutely wild. We're essentially building a living atlas of possibilities. Instead of grouping the economy into traditional, rigid industries, this atlas is organized around those underlying principles we talked about, things like platform models or asset utilization, and it reveals these incredible hidden neighbors. A founder in agriculture and a founder in education might instantly realize they're solving the exact same structural problem. This means you could be sitting on a solution that a totally different industry halfway across the world is desperately searching for just because you share the same foundational architecture. And this kind of macro-level observation is exactly the driving force behind the One Idea Lab. Think of it as a global observatory for opportunity. The lab actively studies how these ideas and principles evolve across different communities. It's a massive pillar of Wisdom's mission to cultivate difference makers in every single city. By mapping exactly how opportunity spreads, it equips everyday people with the critical intelligence they need to systematically solve both local and global challenges. All of this points to the birth of an entirely new discipline, a new skill you really need to master. We call it opportunity intelligence. So instead of just studying traditional business management, finance, or tech, opportunity intelligence systematically studies how opportunities themselves emerge, how they evolve, transfer, and multiply. It shifts our entire focus from just building isolated businesses to becoming absolute masters at recognizing scalable possibilities using human AI reasoning as our primary tool. When you look at it this way, the future is incredibly bright. AI is not here to replace our human curiosity or our drive to build things. It's just stepping in as this remarkable new companion in our ongoing search for value. It acts like an intellectual amplifier, helping us spot those deeper, hidden patterns where true creativity and world-changing businesses actually come from. We are standing at the threshold of a totally new economic era. Making things, that's just not the hard part anymore. The traditional friction is gone. So as you go about your day and look at the world around you, I want to leave you with this one thought. In a world where execution is practically effortless, what opportunity are you going to recognize first? Thanks so much for diving into this explainer with me. Keep asking those great questions, look for those underlying patterns, and go uncover some hidden opportunities.